Greetings, Hope Church. Pastor Mickey here with you. Just wanted to give you a midweek announcement. We don't do this every Wednesday now, every midweek, but we, as needed, try to give you an announcement to update you on certain things and just to keep you informed as a congregation. One of the things that we're working on this year that the elders have assigned for me as a senior pastor to do, and so we as a staff and a building committee are working on, is coming up with a long-range plan for our facility. This will be something that begins at the staff level and ultimately works up and gets approved by our elders, something that we can implement over time. We want to be faithful with our space. Space matters. Even as we're finding out with COVID, just whether it's worshiping outside or worshiping inside, whether the lighting is right or the temperature is warm enough or cool enough, or we have enough chairs or there's enough space or the access to the bathrooms, right? All of those things, just like in our own homes, make a difference. So we are trying to make a long-term plan, call it 5 to 10 years out, so that we can begin to be more faithful, more resourceful, and more strategic with our space. So we wanted to let you know that. And in due course, as this ministry year goes and a plan is developed, we will obviously share that with you. Church chat would be an obvious place for that to happen. So be attending those and seeing in the future as we present that to you, the congregation, so that you're very involved in that process as well. One thing that we are noting, though, as we just begin the process of a plan, is that there are some things, even now in light of COVID, with the building being empty or a lot more during the week, and thinking strategically about things we can immediately do that are cost effective, is to make a couple changes that we can implement now. And one of those involves Fellowship Hall. Now, Fellowship Hall is a special place because for the long history of this church, it was the sanctuary. It also has been, up until now, the place where really every baptism that happened here took place. And so we wanted to communicate with you up front that we're going to make some adjustments in Fellowship Hall. We are going to be removing the baptismal and that big stage, which takes up a good 20 to 25% of that room, to be able to facilitate more and varied use in that particular room. Now, you might be asking the question, you're getting rid of the baptismal. Well, kind of, but not exactly. One of the things that I felt early on here, coming on the pastoral staff, was the desire to have baptism, like its companion, the Lord's Supper, as part of corporate worship. And so we have already purchased a portable baptismal that can be in the sanctuary so that baptisms are part of corporate worship. And if you just kind of want an example of this, think about some of you may have gone 5, 8, 10, maybe more years without seeing a baptism if the person being baptized wasn't your grandchild or close friend or small group member. That is not the way baptism is supposed to be. There is biblical and historical precedent to seeing baptism as part of corporate worship. That's something that I raised with the elders years ago, but we haven't taken the time or had the funds to make a move on something like that. But with the staff finding a reasonable cost, we'll be doing that. Meaning, henceforth, baptisms will be part of corporate worship. So yes, we're all about baptism. We're actually Baptistic. But no, we're not thinking that the baptism is best reserved in an evening service separate. We're not even thinking that the baptism we have is even ideal or safe for the majority of the people coming in and out. We want it to be part of corporate worship, which allows us to, at least with that wall and that stage, adjust the room for future use. We want you to be aware of that. Ask questions, call, email, stop by and talk, or even at a church chat. We can have that conversation, but we want to make you, the congregation, aware of what decisions you're empowering us as your pastors and elders and as the staff that is serving you, how we're trying to be faithful and have some foresight to be responsible with our resources and with our ministries. I hope you're having a good week, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday.